There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. A beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Alright, welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It's Monday, Medium Project Monday. So, hope everybody had a good weekend. We're going to work on, I found this star wire ornament type thing. Forget what they actually called it, but it was star shaped, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try a star. I did the moon. That's what we worked on before the last few weeks, up to last week. On it, I did cover the main ring, the outside. I covered it and wrapped it with a ribbon. This one, well, the other one I had actually made myself out of older broken lampshade rings. Cut it, welded the ends real quick, and this, since it already came pre-built, and it was plated gold, so I was like, why not just go ahead and make a gold star out of it? So that's what we're going to do. I kind of did a little bit already. I gave it a little bit of time earlier today. I was a little bored. Well, not bored, but I needed to take a break from what I was working on. And so I spent probably about an hour and 20 minutes on this. This is actually the third incarnation of how I wanted to do it. I moved down a little bit, didn't like how it was going, so I pulled rings out, find rings that I liked. Trying to use square rings for it all. I guess part of it's not really in the picture here. Move it into the frame. So now that I've got the basics here, I'm going to build it to the side, and then I'll come in and attach it to the thing here, to the ring, the main ring. And I'll do that several times, and I'll start working the inside. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that yet. And I could still change this upper part of it. I'm not sure yet, you know, until I get the other ones in there. A lot of it's going to depend on, I'm wondering now that I'm just actually looking at this closer when I'm talking about it, do I have the same, approximately the same? I'm about 5.5. So it's pretty close, I guess. So it should work by using the same things. We'll see how that goes. This one, that should be about the same too. If it's done correctly, they should be the same. But, you know, when it comes to wire things like this, they can always be a little bit off. And this was actually a 4-pack. This was the largest one of it, and then they get progressively smaller. Where did I hang those up at? And I don't know, I'm kind of considering doing the making 2 with a smaller one under it. And I might go 3, I don't know yet. It just kind of depends. I'm going to just kind of play with it till I like it. Even a single might be good enough, I don't know yet. So I'll kind of just move this back up over to the side, since I did know what I'm going to kind of do here, and we're going to just kind of get started. Like I said, I'm just going to do the inside part as itself, and then we'll attach it once it's all done as a unit. I figure that's probably going to be the easiest way than trying to, that star I kept picking up, and when I get to that point I might have to bring it in closer to me to get it mounted to the main ring there, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I haven't done this, so it's kind of play as we go along for the most part. It's kind of what I like about the Monday medium projects that I'm picking, is something different and unusual, kind of. 3/16. I've got a little cheat sheet. It's actually my third cheat sheet. As I was making these, I'd write down the rings that I was using, so that I can come back and make the other one the same way. So it's kind of a cheat sheet. Actually, once let me go ahead and grab one of these right now. One of my ridiculously large clasps. So I know which side my head's on, know which way I'm starting. And I'm hoping this will be easier this way. I'm unsure. I might get to a point going, well, maybe I should have just built it on there. We'll kind of see how it goes once we get further along, I guess. And so again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by, dropping in, seeing what's going on, or watching it later. It's all good. I mentioned last Thursday I'm up to 298 likes, follows, whatever you want to call them. So I need 2 more to get to 300, and then we'll start doing our giveaways. So make sure you share and let people know about it, and get them over here and watching and following. You don't have to always come every week to be a follower, just see what new stuff's coming up. I'll be adding got some work done on the website over the weekend. It's kind of I will say, a crazy weekend here in many aspects. So I'm going to go for 2 each. I was working on a lot of chainmail stuff, then we had a lot of other family issues per se that needed some time, so that'll still be going on for a little while, I'm imagining, but it just made it a crazy weekend overall. But I did get a lot of things done though, so that's kind of good too. I'm hoping to get some more done this next week, get some things caught up and some extras added, and I finally got the handcuff clasps are added to the website now, so you can buy those if you want. I think that's what I'm going to actually do on Wednesday night, is do a clasp necklace and bracelet set. I think I'm going to connect the two so it looks like actual handcuffs that connect in it, and then I'm probably just going to use a small chain for the rest to hold it up on the neck part. But let's see here. There's there. And what's my connector here? This is the 3 rows, so it's still 5/32. Figured it'd be easier than picking up the star and keep looking at it and seeing what size everything was. And so I did write them down. Just also for my own, whenever I do something new, I do try to write down what I'm doing. If I do something differently or weirdly, I like to make a note of it, so if I ever come back to do that again, I'll know what I'm doing, for the most part. Like I said, I hope everybody had a good weekend, and it was a pretty warm weekend here still. Supposed to be cooling down a little bit. Well, I guess they said it was like 90 today, I think. A little bit cooler than it has been. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 82, which will be nice. I'll be going up to the school. Oh, the phone's ringing. I normally don't have a phone call during my live stream, so it's kind of strange to hear it ring. I never thought about turning it off. Let's see here, we're on 5/32 connectors. So that's where we're going to do. Oops, I dropped it. Come on. But yeah, I've got picture night tomorrow night for the band kids. So I'll be heading up there tomorrow. I don't know how long I'll be there taking pictures. Then I've got I don't know if we're going to do a group, and I'm still debating on if I'm going to do any video or not. I don't know if he's ready to get any practice video in yet or not. So we'll kind of play that by ear while we're waiting. So I'll just have all my cameras for the most part ready. And luckily, like I said, since the family night thing they did, I've got my setup here for doing my streams that I don't have to pull apart for doing band videos. So that's kind of good in a way. I'm pulling this closer. Okay, just to make sure I've got it going the right way. Everything's cohesive. 'Cause it will be kind of a groupy mess until, and then they're just singles off of that. Wait a second. Until it gets spread out and pulled apart by hanging it on the thing, it will be kind of a little floppy mess. That's why I was saying I don't know if it'd be easier to do it this way and then attach, or attach while I'm building it. So I guess we'll decide after I do this one if I want to continue doing it this way or build it onto the thing itself as I'm going. Since I built one on it, we'll build one this way, and then we'll just figure out which way works best. I know there's got to be enough room in there. I can fit 5 through these rings. Couldn't do 6 on some of them, so. But then, like I said, so far I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ring sizes, all in square. Making sure I'm getting to the right one here. Oh, come on. I know you will fit. You must fit. Well, my side camera does look a little off now that it's... I guess not too bad. Now that it's the main screen, I didn't really look at them close. What did I do here? I put that one through the wrong one. Let's see here. There we go. Couldn't find the closure on it. Come on off of there. And get back onto the correct one this time. We should be good. At least we hope. So... okay, I've got 3 going down. Actually, let me see where I'm at here. This was the part that might have been easier to do it on. There's 1, and there's 2, there's 3. So that's where we're at. We're on the 3. So now I still go to a 3, but we're going to slightly bigger ring for this group. Like I said, I was trying it in different ways, and I would find I'd set it one way and it just wouldn't get me a good stretch, where I was starting to get a lot of play within the triangle itself in the middle of it. So then I'd pull it out and try another ring and a different size and see if that would work better. So it took me a little longer to do the first one with the playing than this one will. I imagine, just doing these little triangles won't really take all that long and attaching it, but doing the first one, I figured it would be a little more difficult, and just trying to find the ring sizes I like. And like I said, that could still change. I mean, with the moon, when I started on the moon, we worked on it one night and I ended up pulling all that out and going a different direction. So you just never know till you get into them and see what's happening. And there we go. And what did I... we're on connecting with the same ones, because sometimes it's just a matter of just being a little different. I almost wish I had a few in-between sizes too. I think I could have done something a little differently if I had like 930 or 7/32 in between square. Yeah, 7/32, but not in square. So we make do with what we currently have. Got the burps. Loose meat sandwiches for dinner. I got the loose meat burps. Alrighty, let me double check here. So that was 3 and 3. I'm going to mark this down so I know where I'm at. So now we're on to that one. So we've got 6 of them. Off these, so we'll get a bunch of them ready and out. And do a double check around here. Hopefully the stream's going well. I haven't really had any issues the last couple days with the internet, so hopefully it'll be good tonight. Alrighty. Find my outers here. This one. Keep hold of it so I don't have to go searching for it again. All possible. And let's see what else we got going on. It's going to be kind of a busy week. I've got streaming tonight, Monday night, and we'll stream again on Wednesday and Thursday. Tuesday I've got band pictures and band practice that I'll be at, and then Friday is their first game of the year, opening actually their first game. They added a new stadium to the school. Actually they had a football field and a little bit of stands, but now they kind of made it a full-fledged field so they can play all their home games there, which is kind of nice. They've last couple of years they've been trying to hold one game at the school for a home game instead of having to travel to the other school, the other district school. It used to be between the 3 schools they used to have one stadium. When they built the 4th high school, they built a nicer, bigger stadium for it, so two schools would share one stadium, the other 2 schools would share the other stadium. And this year, for the other 2 schools that didn't have their own, they've actually added in enough so they can have all their home games at their own school. So it's actually my old school, my old high school, so it's kind of nice in a way. A little closer than having to drive where I would normally have to drive for doing Friday night games, but still a bit of a drive. That's all good too. Alright, and we're on to that one. And these are all 5 seconds. Alright. And so that'll be Friday night. And then all that, I have to process all these pictures. I'll have all the band kids. I'll take 2 to 3 band pictures of every kid. Well, then when I get home, I got to go through each of them and figure out which ones I like better than the other. Which one, try to make them all somewhat similar. So then I'll have to edit them, crop them down, and do all that fun stuff. So that'll pretty much keep me busy Tuesday night and probably most of the day Wednesday to try to get all that done. So I won't get much weaving done tomorrow and Wednesday. I'd like to be able to get more done, but I know I'm going to be busy doing all that. And then Friday night I'll have the video of let's see here, these 2. Let me double check here. What am I doing? That was between those 2, so this one's going to be between these 2, right? No, just the one. Actually, that one. Yeah, maybe I should have. It would have been easier to see taking it out so I can get a better view here. Alright, yeah, I just needed, because it's 4. I was thinking I was trying to put 5 in there. That's why I wasn't lining up, and I realized, oh, I'm only 4 here. So yeah, then Friday night I'll have the video and I'll process all that. Normally though, I do get it done Friday and then then we'll be into Saturday. So it'll be a pretty busy week. I'd like to get some more stuff done Saturday too, but we'll see where I'm at how I'm feeling by the end of the week. 10 years ago would have been no problem, even as I was getting up there, but nowadays it's just getting harder and harder and harder. What did I connect these guys with? Alright. 1, 2, and 3. Make sure we're still on the one video. Come on, get up here. Alright, so we'll go there and there. And this is basically just a Japanese weave. One through one, one through the other. I mean, eventually it becomes, 5 and whatever, 5 and 1, or whatever, however many you're connecting to per se. Alright, up and through. I'm probably getting out of camera view to do that, but my little holes are a little bit harder to see. Now I'm up onto the other camera, so it's definitely going to have to watch what I'm doing to make sure I'm more up in there. Can I lift a little bit more up? We'll see if that works any. I should have adjusted it all. I always try to, but after a weekend, some of my cameras can get knocked around because of everything I was doing. And I did have a lot going on this weekend on my supply side that I was pulling out, so I had boxes stacked up on my table here, super tall. Going through and getting stuff straightened up, put up. Alright, so there's those 3 and 4s. And this one has singles of these. Getting close to attaching it to the star. Hopefully that'll go smooth enough. Now, once I start stretching it out, things will come together and you can see it easier, so hopefully it'll start coming together easily enough by that time. Make sure I get the right ones, since they're all wanting to turn sideways on me. They all look like front-facing rings to me at this point. I gotta get a little closer just to make sure. Can't quite grab that properly. Number 3, if I can get it through. Why ain't you going through? There we go. I guess that's part of the problem with this. This front camera will work better when I'm doing more of a lay down piece. I might still have to move it up a little bit. I think I did there. I don't want to go too far though. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, and there's number 4. Alright, that one is done. And to those 4, we'll go with these 4. I think I'm going to go ahead and just pre-open a few of these so I can use it more easily, just grab them and put them through instead of holding on to the piece. And well, I'm still going to hold on to the piece, but it'll be less letting it go, I guess, is what I'm thinking, so that I can kind of keep track of where I'm at a little better, maybe. Yeah, like that'll happen, right? So but I do dig working with these square rings. I've done a lot of jewelry out of the square rings, but I do like working with my wall hangings with the square rings. It just gives it a different look. I've done round ones too, but figure why not? Try something different, see how it works. And 4. So that'll leave me with 3 inners, one of these and two of those. So let me just move these on into place. Find my two centers. These are the connectors for the front facing ones. I know I keep running out of view on my one camera here, but I've gotta be able to kind of see it a little better. Eyes aren't what they used to be. Come on. There we go. At least we hope so. I guess we'll find out when I go try to putting it on, and if it doesn't fit, then I know I did something wrong. Should have 4 there, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are connected, so that row's done. And now we're on to 8 of those. So, let's go ahead and open up the 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street. Just need a little song to go with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I lost count. 4, 6. Goofing around, losing my train of thought. Alright, so we got 2 on each one of these now. Alright, trying to get back into camera angle here. Hopefully we'll stay in the camera angle. Alright, then on to this one. Squares are always a little bit more difficult to get closed up. They got kind of a weird tweak to them, so rounds you can always get really close and good, but the squares, they get a little tweakness on them because of the way you make a coil, and then when you cut things are off just a little bit, so you kind of have to do a different little bit when you're closing up a square ring. Just kind of have to work them a little bit differently. Nothing too difficult or anything, but I know when I first started using them, it was like I couldn't get them to line up quite right, and then it started dawning on me the way, you know, thinking about how coils coiled and then how I cut it, how they cut them. It started to make sense for what I was needing to do a little bit differently to get it to work the way I wanted and get a nice closure on them. They're still not perfect, but you give them the right little tweaking, you can get them pretty close. They're just a little more difficult to work with. Alright, so there's those 4s. And next we're on to this one, so that was the hangy downs. So now we need 5 of these. And there's actually 5 of them out. We'll just go ahead and pre-open them too while we're at it. Now with the counts, I could go through and just get them all open that I need open to start with. It's kind of how I normally do it in a way. I've just been trying to work more and more with opening it as I go, trying to get faster at that. Because in a way, it does depend on the weave. Sometimes it's faster for me now, doing it that way, than pre-opening everything. I mean, it makes sense that you're touching the rings less when you're opening them then, but sometimes it's dependent on the weave too. So I'm going to grab me a drink. And we're a half hour in already. So this one's definitely going pretty quick here, compared. I'll just, let's see here, gotta make sure I get these correct. Definitely quicker, but I mean a lot less taken apart like I was doing the last time. So I might, try to mount it, build it while I'm working on it, and maybe I'll get a time on that and see which way is actually quicker to do the last two. Because if I do this one this way, the other one the other way, I'll have two of my tips of the star left. But I think this will be a nice little side piece to the moon that we've already done. I was like, oh, I'm going to try a star. When I found the star frame here, I was like, yeah, that'll work. I was wanting to get a bigger one. It's just the bigger ones weren't quite as thick. They were out of thinner wire. Looks like they were more made for, I mean, most of these are kind of made for wreaths. But it was just too thin, I thought, for being larger, and a lot more expensive than I was wanting. I mean, I gotta spend what I gotta spend, but I just was like, I don't know. So let me look here. There's 5 going down. And so then I need 4 connectors. And then we actually start connecting to the star after these 4. Go ahead and pre-open them too. Kind of helps them a bit to hold these things open so they don't get as jumbled and have to straighten them out every time I go back to throw in one. Now we're back to the top view now. At least I can move closer to me and still be in view, I guess. I don't know, y'all tell me if you like the automatic switching of the cameras. I don't know if you all like that or not. It's just an idea, so it didn't become too stagnant with the same view through the whole thing. And something I didn't have to remember to do. Because, I mean, there are times where I will pick the camera angle that I want, or camera view per se, because I need to show it off or something, but alright, that one goes into this one, and then this one. So I set it up automatically to change, and kind of nice in a way, but I do have to remind myself to look at the camera so I know which one I'm on, or look at my video so I know which camera I need to be trying to focus near. I guess that's one of the only bad things. I've gotten better and better at working towards the middle of my screen when I'm on top anyway. Alright, so doesn't look like much there. Kind of hard to imagine that it's going to stretch out to be that big, but it will. Alrighty, so I can take that off now. Really didn't even need it, to be honest with you. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and open up 6 of these. I'll probably I got a little piece of tape on the very top one. Oh yeah, and these I got to open a little further to get around this bigger ring. But I'll put a little piece of tape up there to hold the top on at its place. Otherwise, until I get further down, well, and even this, I could manipulate it, or if you wiggle it just enough or just right, this whole thing wants to slide up and around. And I ended up sliding it all the way around when I had like down to about here, about 4 layers, 5 layers down. It would still all wanted to slide around it. There was enough play in it. Once I can get other pieces attached to this from the other side, it'll all tighten up where it won't want to do that. But for now, oops, I didn't open it big enough. I can already tell. And what do I need? 6 of these. I'll just put a little piece of tape up there at the top to kind of hold it in place so it doesn't want to circle its way around. Hopefully we got them open for enough. But this will be the part where I might come out of view at times while I'm trying to do this. Because, like I said, it can be a little more difficult to get them on there. Plus, I don't want to, when I cover my ring with a ribbon or whatnot, I don't have to worry about scratching it up per se. But doing it this way, without covering it. I'm trying to be a little more careful on my outside ring because I don't want to mar it up really any. So, alright, so let that kind of come down. That's the first two connections there. Set that there so it doesn't fall. Grab me a little piece of tape here and put some tape around it. Keep it from wallering down on me. Alright. So, on to the next one here. Now I might be able to lay it down a little more. We'll see how this goes. We'll have to put down the pliers on occasion to make sure. Give me a little easier, like I said, going around this bigger. I think this is a 3mm wire thickness of the star, if I remember correctly. I did measure it. Yeah, it's got to be, because my 5/32 would barely get around it and hold a ring, so it's got to be 3mm. Alright, I'm going to flip it over. Since I'm right-handed, just easier for me to work from the right side. And it shouldn't matter really which side is the front or back, because they'll both look the same. They should anyway. If everything works out right. They should be the same. Alrighty. So there's number 2. Let me look. Yeah, that should be good. And then one more of this size. I slowly got bigger on my outside rings as I worked down, just because it was harder to fit in smaller, because I needed a certain ring count. I could fit it nice and tight, but then when I needed to connect and do the Japanese style connection, that's where I was having a problem. Getting it to pull in snug tight and then making it look more uniform. I mean, it's still off because I go from 2 to splitting on 2, then on a single row. You can kind of see it when it's there, but I mean, you kind of, if you just look at it, you know, you won't necessarily notice, but when you start studying it, you know. But I do that with all chainmail. If I see something, I'll sit there and really look at it and diagnose it. And oh, that was good. No, I did forget this. I got a little play because I can move these up, and then it gives me more room. Then they'll be tighter and tougher when I get down to the center, because there would be a lot less sliding. So there's that one. And then I need, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Right? Yeah, 4. Yeah, at least I'm finally through all the ones that I pre-opened and had used at other points. Like I said, I had a bunch of open rings and closed that I was taking on and off, trying to fit it to where I wanted and all that. So I had a lot of loose open rings that I do hate putting back into storage. I try to use them up, just because they'll start wanting to hook onto everything else in there. Alright, I'm still on the top camera. Yeah. Side camera, I guess, doesn't really matter too much. It's more the top or the front. Even or the back. I don't know what you want to call the one that sits up here in front of me, but it's on the back side of my table. Alright, pull that one down. That's all when I do so. It's got a pretty tightness to it. There's a little bit of loose, but you're going to have a little bit. So that's good. So far it's lining up like it should, so I was kind of worried about these triangle areas not being, they might not still be exact, but there are all kinds of little tricks you can do to tighten up things like this. You can double them up, double up some rings to help tighten it up. Depending on how you hang it, you can hang below so it's pulling on some others to help tighten things up. Whenever I do some of my other round ones, you know, I'll sometimes do that if it needs a little bit of tightening up. A little bit of looseness, though, is not bad. It still all holds its shape well, like this here. These type, it's got a little bit of play. And So when it's this way, I mean, it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of down, but when you hold it up this way, oops, if I can hold it, and if you were to look real close, there's a little bit of gap on these bottom rings. You know, I could tighten that up by putting in another double ring here. I could make a V off the top and put them on this side so it wants to pull these two rings a little tighter. It'll tighten it up. So, I mean, there's all kinds of little weird little tricks you can do to tighten up things like this. Which is what I kind of like and play around with. And I've done a lot of these wall hanging type things that I don't use a pattern for. I've never bought a tutorial for any of them. I just kind of play till I like it. I've done, like this one's the Japanese version. The one I was just showing you was more of a European weave. Basically European 4-in-1, just getting graduated smaller and using the round ring as your base. Alright, so let's check that one. It's looking pretty good. Let me, about normal for my looseness. So now I need the next size up rings for them. And then we'll actually be done with this triangle. So really not all bad at all. It took me an hour and 20. We're going to be at about 40. I would say if I wasn't doing the stream, this would be about 38 minutes of time if it wasn't for the stream. So not too bad at all compared to the first one, but like I said, that first one was more the trial error, see what was going to work, what wouldn't work. And that's, you know, like I said, once I do them once, if I come back to do them in a different color or whatever, I have my little notes that let me know. And the thing is, again, with these, like a round one or this star one, I only got the one star here of this size, so I'm sure it's going to be like any other thing. All my round rings, they're always a little off. Some are worse than others, but, you know, lately the ones I've been getting have been within about 1/8 of an inch of each other. I've actually got some of my bigger stainless steel ones that there could be a 1/4 inch difference between the smallest and the largest, so that kind of sucks when you're trying to do something like this, because not always will it work. So I kind of like these other rings that I've been getting, the 4-inch rounds. They're a little more consistent, closer together. So when I plan on doing some finishing my tutorial for the wall hangers that I've got, and using and making some kits. So that's why I've been kind of experimenting, trying some different things, and I just needed to make up several just so that I could sell kits and make sure everything's going to work. Before I do anything like that, I like to make sure it's going to work well by doing it several times. So, see where that one puts us. Did I? Yeah, that's all. So there might be a slight difference. Let me, because there's a little more play. This doesn't seem to be coming down as much as this side did. This one came almost down into the very center of the bottom, and this one's a little tighter. I can't quite get down. I need to... I don't know how I can extend that one down other than maybe replace these two inner connecting ones with a larger one. I wish it was a... let's see here. I wish there was it was a 4-row, not a 5-row. Because to do my 2 connectors, I'll have to replace 2, and 2 might be too much. Let's go ahead and try 1 and see what happens. Let me find the opening, closure, whatever you want to call it. And put in 1 and see if how badly that might change it. Because if 1 gives me too much all the way down, that's not going to work. So, but if it gives me partial of the way there, I guess I can change 2 of them. I just didn't want to do it per se here, but I don't like how actually loose that it actually was, so I gotta figure out something. And that's one reason why on these type of the moon and the star here, because I've had some people ask me on the moon, which I'll pull it out real quick again. If you haven't seen it, you can catch it now. Hopefully it's in camera view. We'll see. I'm trying to wait for the camera view thing to change. Each moon could be a little different in size, so it's going to change up so many things. So if I was to write a tutorial for it, there might be a moon that, you know, if you buy a pre-made moon, it could be a little different, and it wouldn't be, you know, you'd have to change up the tutorial a little bit for it to work properly. Hey, John. Hate when the software doesn't support copy-paste. Yeah. But normally, if they don't do the right-click for copy-paste, you can use the Control-C and V. I found most of my programs that won't allow right-clicking for copy-paste. The Control-V and C always seem to work for me. So, that got it a little bit better. It's still closer. Let me go ahead and try to change out this ring too and see if that'll make it a little bit better. Because I kind of need to anyway if I want to keep it that way, just to keep it more symmetrical per se. Hope it works. Let me know where those are located on the flyers. Okay, now I know what you mean by copy paste for doing rings, right? That'd be nice. And all the craziness you've been doing lately. But they're nice looking things you've been doing, so. Grab a 1/4 inch. Yeah, I mean, they do have those machines that'll do it for you. Mailtech's got them, and I'm sure there's some other places, but I don't know. Seems weird to get machine-made chainmail. And then you know, they can do basic stuff, but a machine couldn't do some of these insane weaves that we got, or anything tight like with what you've been doing with your excuse me. Was that one? So that one comes right down to it. That's better. Not totally. Kind of wondering if maybe I change up those two on that one, but I think I'm going to wait till I get another triangle done and put in and see what it's going to take. And I think I'm going to go to this corner this time, my far corner, and see how it goes in, see what I have to change to make it fit properly, and then try to make them as close to even as I can. My pile slowly becoming a mound, someday a horde. Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I had to clean up this weekend. I had a horde of stuff over there on the far side of my desk. It literally took me about 2 hours to go through it all, separate, get it all cleaned up, and it was crazy. I will say that. So, all right, we're gonna go slide this over, and we're gonna go ahead and work on. What size were these? These were 5/32. Machine-made mail is where it's at, though. It's not all of it. Coil me those rings by hand and saving time and draw blade. Eviloo days long past. Yeah. Well, I mean, coiling, yeah. That I don't have any kind of using power equipment to do that. It's just when you see them make the full, you know, cheaply made shirts. The reason they're so cheap is because it's machine-made, 4-in-1. And part of those problems that they have with those too, I guess, is the material they're using. They just use crap material. They'd be a lot better if they used better material. So. Making my own wire. I like buying it still. It would be nice to kind of do that. I've seen some videos of they were making silver and melting down the silver and drawing it out through a draw plate and using a rolling mill and all that. And it was like, man, that would be so cool to be able to do. But then, by the time you're done doing all that, the piece you made, you probably have a hard time selling for as much time and investment you put into it, rather than buying them, But I still like buying my wire and doing it. If I could find somebody locally to do some colored anodizing on aluminum, I'd probably go that route too. But let's see here. What's that one? 26 minutes. $7 hours for 3 ounces from 8 to 20G, yeah. And time of making a weave too, whatever you're gonna make out of it. And, I mean, there are people that are willing to pay, but they'd have to I think a lot of people that see things and they're like, man, that's so expensive. It's like, well, you don't know the details. You don't know everything that it took to actually make this piece. They just think, oh, that was simple enough. Well, not always is it just super simple. There are some things that are simple, I will admit. But some things, when I tell people when they were looking at the Mahomes jersey and the portrait, it's not all that big, so when I tell them how much I was selling it for, they were like, oh. But, when it's got that many hours in it and stuff, and the time that it took to do all that, you have to take that into account too. Alright, now those two connected properly. Alright. And so I need 4 of these. Oh. Yeah, getting already tired for the night. I don't know why. Should not be tired at this point in time. I've been having a hard time sleeping all this past week or so, I guess. That's a big one. That's also a big one. I put them in the wrong pile. My latest frames. Hey, can you make it in stainless? I'm sure, because stainless is like silver. Yeah. It's just right there. It's still just metal. You just bend it the same way, right? Same gauge. It'll work. Yeah, it's kind of like going from working with aluminum into stainless steel. A big difference, especially in the fine silver that I had worked with for the wife stuff that I'd gotten made for her. That was so weird going from stainless into it. And I don't know, but I guess it might. I don't know what the hardness rating would be between stainless steel and titanium. But boy, I tell you what, trying to get some of these titanium rings to work the way I want them to work, seem so much more than some of the stainless steel. Did I do that right? Yeah. So row 3 is 3 of these. I gotta go get me looking to get me, I need a couple good heavy duty pliers for doing. I mean, I've got mine that I use for stainless steel, 16 gauge and up, that they're okay, but they're so long, they're hard to work with, They don't open on their own, which they don't necessarily have to, but since they're so long handled, they've just been driving me nuts. I need to get me a better pair that I can more easily wield to do some of these. I mean, sometimes you want that extra leverage, but I just need me a good pair that I can work better with anyway when it comes to doing stainless and titanium. Niobium, it's actually kind of soft. I was kind of surprised in that. I still like working with it, but it's harder than aluminum, but definitely not as hard as stainless or titanium. And off of those we go around the 2 still. That's 3. So I need to connect them. Now I thought about adding magnets to my current ones, but I don't. The jaws on them are real big too. I mean, they're just kind of a standard pair of pliers, and they work. But I want something that's more, not so open, and like they're standard. So you got the center in the middles. Like I said, I mean these work good. I can work with them, but I'd just like to get me something better. I've got a couple sets of those, and the other sets that I have over on the other side because I haven't used them in so long. I went ahead and put them up in the toolbox because, I haven't used these in forever, and they had their own issues too. So, I guess I should open these up first. So, I've been looking. I mean, I've seen. Is it Joshua Dilberto that has the sets that he kind of takes TRL's ones and he kind of modifies? I just want something a little bit bigger than that because according to their stats on that, it can still only do, I think they said 16, maybe 14 gauge in stainless, and it's like, I want something a little more sturdy than that too. And it's something I probably just need to go to the store and play around with them, feel them in my hand. I thought about trying to buy some online, but it's like, you just never know. I bought a lot of stuff online that I just didn't like once I got it. So I've looked and I'm just still debating. It's like I already have so much money in pliers, it's insane. I don't want to go wasting more. Because I got all my, these styles, and I got the Girons in a couple different styles. I got the parallel pliers, not counting the long needle noses and the rounded ones for making loops and all that stuff. I've got a ton. I have these $15 ion bend head ones. They make 9G feel like 16G. Well, heck, I'm going to have to look into that because that would be nice. Alright, so that's all those. Now I'm on to the singles. And we're 5/32. Like I said, those bigger ones, they do make it feel easier than what it is. If I try to do like 16G with these, I just feel like I'm going to bust these Tronics wide open if I did too much of that. I'll work with 18G is okay. 1.2 millimeter wire it seems to do okay with, but get bigger I just don't like. I just feel like I'm going to end up busting these, so I got to pull those out. And they're also just so big and wielding sometimes when I'm working on a smaller piece. Now, if I was doing 20G and stuff like that, all this other for stainless would work fine, but I need to get something better for bigger, because I've got these 1/4 inch titanium that I did, and they are such a pain in the butt. They're 1/4 inch 16G, and they've been kicking my butt, I will say that. So I did some, and I was like, all right, I need to take a break from this a while. I was like, that's why I was saying, it seems that wire was harder than stainless steel, because when I pulled out same thickness wire or rings of it in stainless steel, I was able to do it. without giving me any issues. So, alright, that was... Don't use the ion and 20G. You know, whenever I get down that small, these work good for me. Even the Xerons can work fairly well on that when I go down that small. Okay, so we're on to 3. Okay, so yeah. These 4 of these. No, 3, right? Yeah, 3. Still only use 4 sets these days. Only use 4 sets these days. Yeah. Speak properly. Oh, I did miss quite a few there. I have 4 shelves full of pliers and cutters. Yeah. Yeah. I have quite a bit that I don't pull out and have out here for readily available. If I need them, I'll go get them, but I try to keep more of what I will use in 90% of what I'm doing easily gettable right here, but otherwise I will go get them if I have to. That is taking up too much room on my board. Pegboard backing here that basically this side holds all my pliers, and it's about 3 foot wide. Pliers, cutters, scissors, benders, and all that. My other one over there has got a lot of my other smaller beads, findings, type things. Otherwise, I'd probably be able to almost fill the other side with some of these other pliers too, but I just don't use them enough to justify having them out all the time. Like I said, really most of my stuff I end up using these Tronics or the smaller Xerons. They do most of my work for me, especially if I'm doing aluminum or silver. Okay, this was 3, and I need 3, or 2. 2. Oh, I did catch it this time. Your little box didn't quite fill up the area. So, I could tell this time that that wasn't part of this. I'll look at that link and when I'm done tonight. Glad I caught it though this time. What do you want? You come running in. I hear you. I'm asking, what do you want? It's not food time. You still got a little while before that. Didn't see her have anything to bring it in. She would have meowed differently. I am going to have to go close the door. It's too hot out there to leave it open. Oh, it's supposed to get decent enough tonight, I think. Yeah, or by early morning. And a high of 82 tomorrow. That'd be nice. Alright, let me double check here. 1, 2, 3. So that's that one. So the next one is that one. So let me do my scratchies. And we need 6 of these. Let me close that door real quick. Well, both of them came in. Or would they? An hour ago. Yeah, I'm closing it. Sorry. Another month or so, and then you guys can have free reign of running in and out when it's, 60 out. They'll enjoy that. I'm sure they're missing that. Only thing I don't like about it is the animals they like to bring in. We're gonna get 6 of these. Where are we at anyway? Hour? So, yeah. I think I just said that maybe. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been one of those days today. Got quite a bit done today, but not enough. Most like any day. Let's go ahead and get these 6 opened. Oh, did he do? Yeah, I see you over there. She's over there pushing stuff around on the table. I heard something sliding going, I shouldn't hear sliding noises off the table. She's getting mad at me. I guess she just wants her food now. You still got an hour, probably. What time is it? Yeah, close near an hour. And from 9 to 9:30 is when they get their soft food and shot for the big boy. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. They tricked me the other day. Ended up feeding them too early. I don't know what it was. It was Saturday night. I don't know. My times got all off, and I could have swore I looked at the clock and it said it was almost 10. And when I got done with everything, I was going back and I looked at the time, going, it's 8:45 now. What? Huh? So they got early food Saturday, and I think that's kind of thrown them off since then. They're like, hey, we got food early the other night. Why not tonight? They actually had a late start this morning too, guys. So chill. Okay. I was gonna build this one on it this time. I thought I forgot. I just started building the triangle again. Oh well. I don't know if I'll work on this or not during this week. I'm not going to have a ton of time. I want to spend basically any other free time that I've got. I want to work on the chessboard and get it finished up. I'm ready to get on to the next inlay. So I probably won't do too much of this, if anything, on it over this next week till next Monday. So, I mean, depending on where I'm at some point, I might decide to, let's see here, next rows are 537. And it's 4. So I probably won't, you know, other than if I get to a point where I'm almost finishing something up, I might, you know, just go ahead and finish that up. But more than likely, I probably won't get anything done on this till next Monday. With everything else going on this week. But who knows, like I said, I might surprise myself. But I've got all this graphics work I need to do too. I still got to create the graphics for the tumblers that the band's going to want. Been waiting on a graphic to get from them to finish that up. Because I think they've decided they want 4 different graphics to choose from. Which is okay, but you know, it's nicer when it's just, you know, one design I can do several on instead of when I have several designs. I think last year we went with 3, but this year they want to do another one for the color guard. They want to have their own cup too. If they do sell any much of them, it won't be a whole lot of them, but you know, I'm still willing to offer it to them. So, hey guys, stop it. Buzz. They're over there fighting. Why am I seeming off here? There's something wrong. Oh, it's that one right there. No, that's right. That'd be 2. But where'd my other one go? Oh, under my finger. Durr. Holding one in the back there. Totally missed it. Alright, so there's those 4. We'll have 3 connecting. The middle one is a bigger one. And then 2 of those. Alright, flip over here. You know, it's so much easier whenever I can pull it into my lap. And these 2. or standing up. I'll stand up and have it, 4 inches away from my face. I was standing up all earlier today when I was working on the other part, coming up with how I wanted to do the triangles. Like I said, I don't like sitting all that much. I mean, I have to, but I sit too long with no butt. That's those, and so my danglies are singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get on out of the way. But since we're cats, guys, all right, stop. Chill. Are you going to leave her alone if I let you go out? Huh? Yeah, they're just being total pains tonight. Well, Buzz is. He just wants to chase her for nothing tonight. Just, I had to actually go outside and separate him and tell him no. He just did not want to leave her alone. He does get that way on occasion though, but he does a lot less than he used to now that he's sick, or, getting older and sicker. But he still gets wild hair every once in a while. Just doesn't want to leave her alone. And that's the thing crazy about her. She's put up, she'll stand up to freaking big old dogs that show up in the yard. Neighbors' dogs get out on occasion, and they'll come over here. And she'll just stand her ground with these big giant dogs. And, boy cat, she cowers. Goes flopping over, hiding. It's like, you don't make any sense, cat. You don't look like a big toughie to the dogs, but then a cat comes up to you and you turn into a chicken. Alright. Is that right? Yeah. Those 4. And so, we'll go with 4 big ones. There's the neighbor dogs on the one side of us. She had this big old dog. I mean, he'd literally, he was some type of, what was, I don't even remember now what, he was a big one. I mean, he stood tall. He could jump the fence easy. And he'd jump the fence, come over, and I heard her out there just wailing, and I go look outside, and she's 4 feet in front of this dog that's, 10 times her size. And the dog was just staying his ground, just staying there. He wasn't coming close to her, but she was just all big and mean and kind of pushing towards him a little bit. And then, Buzz comes in and does his thing, and she runs off and cowers in little holes, and it's like, you don't make any sense whatsoever. But we used to, when we lived over in the townhouses 15 or so years ago, we had a neighbor who had a St. Bernard. Oh, that thing was so lovable, it was insane. And we'd watch them for them on occasion, quite often when they would work or go out of town. And cat at the time I had was, she was also a small little cat. Her name was Tiny. But, she'd hang out and just, had no problem with this giant St. Bernard. She wouldn't hiss at it or nothing. They would just kind of hang out with each other. They really didn't go after each other or anything. It was kind of a crazy little thing. Let's see here. Now we're on to, let's go with 3 of these. Now I'm getting a little wondering. Normally by now I'd hear some scratching back on the door wanting back in at this time. When I lock them out, how much time we got? About 15 minutes, so we can hopefully finish up this square actually, or this triangle square. Get this triangle done and add it to the star point, I would hope, because we don't have much more left here. And then it would be a good time to stop if I can get to that point. So hopefully if it goes over a little bit, we might go over a little bit tonight, who knows. Because it would get to that point where it'd be nice just to get that finished and then be a good point to close, and I could just put this stuff to the side till next Monday. And get out the other. I'm actually working on another 4-inch one tonight that I need to finish up, so I want to be able to get to into it. And let's see here, are they all right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, those are done. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'll just open them and then count them. As long as I don't lose track like I did last time, because I was singing in Sesame Street. I thought about trying different colors for this. It all depends. I've got these other ones. This was an 8-inch star. I think there were 8, 6, 4, and 2. And I'm thinking about using the 8 and the 6 at least. I might go 8, 6, and 4 and make a 3-pack going down. I haven't quite decided. I almost want to get me another set of these just because I'm thinking I might want to put some color in it, because doing this I've kind of thought of some areas where I could change up some color that I think would look really cool. But I figured, I'll just make it all a solid gold. Excuse me. Drink here and get that bug out of my throat. Speaking of bugs, last night it was crazy because the door was all shut. I mean, I haven't really been open much, and I'm sitting in front of the computer. I'm working on a PDF and some graphics, and this grasshopper, not a big one. I mean, he was probably only about 1.5 inch grasshopper, come jumping on the desk. Kind of freaked me out for a second. I was like, "Oh, you're just a grasshopper." And so I ended up sitting there watching him kind of walk around on right underneath my monitor and stuff. He was right on the corner of it sits on top of the desk. It used to hold the monitor. Now I have mounts for the monitors, but there's a corner of it where it comes down, and he was just sitting up here on this corner, and he was just kind of hanging out there, not really doing much. And for about 3 or 4 minutes, he was just kind of sitting right on the corner, just kind of moving around a little bit here and there. And I just happened to kick back for a second to stretch my legs from being bent up in front of the computer, and so I was sitting there watching him, and next thing I know, he comes flying right at me. I mean, he was probably, at the point there, he was probably 2 feet away from me. We're about 2 feet separated, but I figured if he was going to jump, he was going to end up jumping towards the wall, but he jumped backwards somehow. At the angle that he was at, I wasn't expecting it. And so I'm sitting there, pulling out the matrix moves, dodging from him, and I just happened to get down just enough, but I could feel him flying through my hair as I bent down and to the left, he flew and was like right through the hair. I could feel him brushing the hair for about 6 inches of my head, and he landed on the back of my chair that I was sitting in, which comes up to about the middle of my head. So I was thinking, if I wouldn't have moved, he was like aiming right for my nose. He would have landed right on my nose if I wouldn't have moved at all, because of the angle he was and how much I moved and where he landed. I was like, you stupid little thing. So then I caught him, threw him outside. Alright, that one's done, so we're on to... Did I do that right? Yeah, okay. I was like, I thought I would just use the wrong size rings. Do. Need 5 of these. Where we at here? 20 minutes, or 10 minutes still left till our normal time, so I should be able to easily get this mostly put in. We might run a few minutes over as I'm getting it finished up, mounted into the triangle. As long as I can remember and don't have to take any rings out later. Alright. What did I do here? Alright. Okay, that's right. I just had the wrong hold of it. I was tweaking it one way and I thought I was off a row. It's like I can't be off a row. It's just doing it. And we're now up on the other camera. I gotta remember that. I'll get more used to the times of when it changes, since it's an automatic time kind of change. To there, and then the 2 outsides. That one. Get better up here. I already feel like getting back too far. And this one. And then we just got, what was it, 4 connecting rings in here, and then we can attach. And what size are those? I need 4 of these. Then we can open up our connecting rings to go onto the star itself. So, since we're getting close, I just want to go ahead and do my normal thank yous again for stopping in, checking us out. Hope you enjoy your time with us. If you watch us later too, that's all good. I know I get several views later on through Facebook and YouTube. I can't tell if I get extra views on the Twitch side of things. I'm not sure. I haven't gone in, even though I did notice just the other day, last Thursday, when I got done, I found a different section of Twitch for different than where I normally go to see my stuff, and so it was a little different, but I didn't have a lot of time to check it out. So, but either way, I thank everybody for doing so. I thank everybody for the orders that I've gotten over the last several weeks, months. It's been nice. Hopefully I'll be getting more. Always good for sales. The more sales I get, the more stuff I can try and do different things. And like I said, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We do the live streams on all those. sure. Yeah, that's all right. Reminder of the days, we do them on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, all at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Normally I like to go minimum of an hour. Most times I try to plan for an hour and a half. There have been the occasional longer ones, but you know, it's normally because I'm in the middle of something, want to finish it up before we get closed. Like tonight, we might go a few minutes over. 4, 5, 6 of these. Depends on how long it's going to take us to get it connected to the triangle, or the triangle point of the star, I guess I should say. And we got still 6 minutes, so we should be alright on that. But check us out there. Like I said, we are 2 followers away from getting to our 300 likes on Facebook. I already had one in my hand. So share us out there. Get you know, looking forward to getting to that 300. We're going to do a giveaway. We'll probably do several giveaways. Once I hit that mark, if we happen to hit it before Wednesday of this week, I don't think I would have enough time to get set up to do a giveaway this Wednesday. But I'd like to get to that 300 like followers mark this week. And next Wednesday we could possibly do a giveaway. I'll make some posts about it on the page, Facebook pages, to let people know. I don't want it to be a sudden thing where not a whole lot of people show up, but I also would like to have the people show up. At any given time, I think I max out around between the 3 different streams. I think the most I've ever had at any one time was 8, 9. I could have been wrong. I could miss some on occasion too, so getting close to those anyway. But I'd like to have more people show up on a giveaway night. Oh, I should have put tape on that. See, it's already wanting to fly over on me. Split apart. Here we go. Grab my tape. When we end tonight, we will be back on Thursday or Wednesday night. Like I said, I think I've got something planned for using the handcuff clasp that I got. Even though the first plan isn't really going to be using them as the clasp per se. I thought about making a his and hers style thing where they, you know, the handcuffs are locked together as a unit, you know, can be, but separated for each person. I got several ideas. I want to use them as kind of more of a focal point in a way, and then I got other things I'm going to use them on as just actual clasp. I mean, I guess they would actually still be the clasp on the necklace and the bracelet that I'm planning on doing with it. But I'm kind of looking at using some standard chain on it too, so we'll be playing around with those on Wednesday just to try different things. I might try to throw together a quicker box chain or something and put it on there, see how it would look, and just try something different. So we can attach those to it. Like I said, I now have those on the website for purchase. If you want to get your own handcuff clasps. I know they're offered other places, but I think mine are slightly different than the TRL version, because my holes I got 2mm holes in my clasps. I think they said theirs is 1.8, 1.6. I've had no problem putting 16G through it and being nice and loose, so. But overall, the clasp is still the same size, just a bigger hole in it. Kind of weird that they put it out. I had mine in delivery being shipped to me when they posted their new item. I was like, I've got that coming. And then I've got extra because I did plan on selling. I'm going to try to start adding more and more to my supply side of things. Let's see, I need 4 of these. So you'll have to keep checking out the site. I'm hoping to, at least every week, start getting a little more and a little more and a little more added. more product for chain mailers, and then more product for my own chain mail that I built. Like I said, I've only got a handful really of the things that I've done on the website. Most of my sales come through somebody seeing the picture on Facebook and saying, hey, I'll get more sales that way. But I am trying to get, I've had the website for pretty much as long as I've run the business, so it's going on 7 years now. And it was about a year and a half-ish ago, almost a year and a half ago, when I updated and changed my back-end software. So I lost a lot of things. There was things I could have done to try to get them, and I can still do it. I still have actually an old backup of the old site, so because I've got several reviews that are no longer available on the new stuff, and I'd like to get my reviews back. So I do hope to get that updated and eventually get some of that stuff over there. So if you bought anything on the old site and you go to the new site and you don't have your login and stuff, just recreate the account. That's probably why. If you had gotten a tutorial from me and you set up a new account on the new setup, just drop me an email, let me know, and I'll get that added to your account so you can come back and do that. I was going to manually add in all those accounts, but I was like, some might not come back. I would need them to verify it. I'd have to send them out a password, so I was like, it'd probably just be easier. Why is that one so tight there? Oh, that's part of the reason. Let's see here. Can I get that to come apart without taking it apart? Let me see here about taking this one out. They're pretty tight when it comes to fitting inside the one size of these, and so this one was, I'm hoping that this will open those back up so they'll come to their full stretch. Yeah, there we go. Because it was all butted up and overlapping on some of the other. I was like, why ain't it pulling down like it's supposed to? It's not doing it. Yeah, that's much better. Now the upper part's much tighter, see? So, on to the last 4 rings here, and then we'll call it quits for the night. Where are we at? We're just out an hour and a half, so it will be just a few minutes past our normal time. So not too bad. Like I said, sometimes we'll end a little early, sometimes we'll end a little late, depending on where we are in the process. Or if I've got other things I need to do too. Like I said, I'm kind of got a lot of things around the house I got to do daily too, so. Alrighty. If I can just put these 2 on this side without having to flip it. I'm going to try. See what happens. Then I can flip and do the other 2. Yeah, I should be able to. Oh, come on, get on through. Get on through to the other side. Oh, come on. There, jeez. That was a pain in the butt. And then I can flip around and get my other 2 going. And then we will be done with the 3rd triangle. So we got 2 triangles done in the stream tonight. Not too bad. I'm not even sure how many rings are in one of these triangles. I haven't counted. I just got the sizes and how many. But I'll have to check that out. Eventually I'll have a count. I still actually got to count out my moon. I haven't got a ring count on my moon yet. I just keep looking at it and got the pictures out there and gotten comments and questions about it, so I've been answering those when I get them. But let's see how far we come down. Ooh, actually that kind of is a little looser than I was expecting, so each one of these is a little bit different, but it's coming right down to the crack there. Let me see if I move this one. See, I can probably come through and use some 1/4 inch on the outside and capture these 2 and hold them right there. So that might be something I play around with before I actually put it up tonight. But me try to see if I can give all these quick little stretchy out for you. That's kind of where we're at now. We got three of them done, and 2 more to go, and then we'll fill in our center. So I want to thank everybody again who's joined us, watched us, and don't forget about getting us out there, share, get a couple more likes, and we can do some giveaways. Hope you all have a good Tuesday, and we will be back on Wednesday night, and we'll chat with you then. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you.